Last week I shared with you a video including 6 reasons you should not move to Bellingham, but truth be told, I happen to think this is a pretty great area, and today I will be sharing with you 8 reasons that you should move to Bellingham. We're gonna get started right now. All right, so jumping right in with reason number 1 that you should consider a move to Bellingham is the natural beauty in this and the surrounding areas. Now, Bellingham specifically is positioned on Bellingham Bay. We have the San Juan Islands not so far in the distance. We have Mount Baker behind us. We have the Chuckanut Mountains. We have the Canadian coastal Rockies. There is water, there is green, there is mountains. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. I've traveled through a lot of different parts of the country. I've seen some amazing places, but there is a beauty that is unique to this area, particularly in the summer months, but arguably all year long. So reason number 1 to consider a move to Bellingham is the natural beauty of Bellingham and the surrounding areas. Reason number 2 I'm going to share with you today about considerations of moving to Bellingham would be that we have a very mild climate. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, I've talked before about, average temperatures in the winter months, average temperatures in the summer months. I guess just make it easy for you and not send you on a wild goose chase in terms of what those are. In our winter months, we're going to have average lows in the low to mid 30s, average highs in the mid to upper 40s. In the summer months, we're going to have lows in the mid 60s, and we're going to have highs that are in the mid to upper 70s. Now, of course, compare and contrast throughout these different seasons. There are extremes on occasion, and so there are temperatures that occasionally are lower than those low 30s. There are temperatures that are occasionally higher than those upper 70s. But across the board, this is a place year-round you can enjoy being outdoors and stay relatively comfortable with the right clothing. The other thing to note is that we do have relatively low humidity. So even in the summer months when it does warm up a bit, compare and contrast to someplace like Florida and much of the East Coast, the humidity is very agreeable. Reason number 3 to consider a move to Bellingham is that we have a thriving art scene. So that applies both the museums that we have here in the area. I believe there's 11 that are in Bellingham. These range from, historical information about Bellingham, rotating exhibits that come through, children's museums, the Spark Museum, the list goes on. There's a lot of opportunities to take in culture and history here in this area. And there is a fair amount of opportunity for music and entertainment, albeit at smaller scale venues than you would experience in major cities. As a couple different examples of upcoming shows, I did see fans of The Office will be impressed. Reed Bratton is coming to the Wild Buffalo later this month. I also saw that Kevin James is going to be performing stand-up at the Mount Baker Theater. So Kevin James has been, King of Queens, the movie Hitch, Paul Blart Mall Cop. So we do get some great entertainment that comes through Bellingham and is accessible to you here in town, not having to travel to those bigger cities, to those bigger venues. So reason number 3, art and entertainment. Reason number 4 is sustainability. Now, one of the big things that you're going to take note of if you go out to eat here in Bellingham is that many of our restaurants promote and employ a farm-to-table methodology of getting the food from its direct source to your plate. And so as you're going out to these local restaurants, you're going to see fresh local seafood, whether that's fresh salmon that's coming from Lummi Island, fresh crab that's harvested here out of Bellingham Bay. You're going to see all sorts of fruits and vegetables that are grown here locally. And we really put a lot of pride and emphasis on being able to source things locally and support partners in the community across different disciplines. So sustainability. We've also got a great, recycling program. We've also got a great, reduce, reuse means to be good stewards of the environment. And that is something that you will come to appreciate being here in Bellingham. Number 5 on the list is a friendly community. Bellingham, I would say people in the Pacific Northwest are generally very friendly, perhaps second to the southern hospitality that you've maybe heard stories about or experienced yourself. People in Bellingham are very friendly. There are also lots of opportunities for you to plug into the community with different clubs and different organizations, whether that be through sports for youth and adults, whether that's through hiking and biking clubs. There's a ton of recreational opportunities, and there's a ton of opportunities for you to get plugged in, to meet people, and to quickly establish yourself as a part of the community here in Bellingham and the surrounding areas. Hey, if this is your first time on the channel, we encourage you to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you can keep up on all the content that we're releasing about Bellingham, Whatcom County, and all the great things that are going on here in this area. My name is Jeff Engen. I'm with MJB Real Estate Group, and every day we get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you who are considering a move to this area, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're thinking about moving tomorrow, 10 months from now, sometime in between, we encourage you to reach out. All of our contact information can be found below, and we will be standing by and ready to help any way that we can. Reason number 6 is that we have delicious food and drink. So as I alluded to, talking about the farm to table sustainability, we have a lot of great restaurants here. We don't have a lot of chain restaurants. We do have, your Applebee's, Olive Garden, Red Robin, things of that nature. But a lot of the restaurants that we have here in Bellingham are local, independently owned and operated restaurants that really pride themselves on the caliber of the food that they serve. And so delicious options from Italian to seafood to Asian cuisine to Indian cuisine, the list goes on. You've got a lot of great choices for food here in Bellingham. In addition to that, we have a host of breweries. We have the Bellingham Cider Co. We have a couple different distilleries, and we have phenomenal coffee. So as far as beverage is concerned, up to and including Kombucha Town, that's a local kombucha producer, you're never going to go thirsty here in Bellingham, and you're never going to lack for a delicious beverage to go along with that delicious food available to you at any number of these local restaurants. One thing I will say is that being between Seattle and Vancouver, I feel like there's some culinary influences that come from both of those places and provide some great opportunities for really unique and delicious food here in this area. Reason number 7, not to be overlooked, your access to outdoor activities. Now, whether going up to Mount Baker and skiing and snowboarding, whether that's getting out on the bay or any of the lakes that we have in the area for kayaking, canoeing, paddleboarding, swimming, boating, water skiing, the list goes on. We're a very bike-friendly community, so for road biking, even through town, there's structure and strategy thought out without the streets for cyclists in mind to be able to navigate through the city without fear of issues with traffic. Then we've got Galbraith Mountain, we've got Sudden Valley, we've got the Chuckanut for some world-class mountain biking here in this area as well. Phenomenal trails, fishing, camping, the list goes on. This is one of the best places on the planet to enjoy the outdoors, and we do that very well. And last but not least is convenient location. So Bellingham being strategically positioned between Vancouver, BC and Seattle. Now, my wife and I had the opportunity to go to a concert just this week up in Vancouver, BC. It took us 1 hour from leaving our home in Ferndale to get all the way to downtown Vancouver. It was easy to find parking. We got to the restaurant, we got back to the venue, and coming home was also a breeze. So Canada is close. You do occasionally run into long wait times at the border, but that was certainly not our experience in this recent trip. Heading south the other direction to Seattle, ballpark 90 minutes to 2 hours depending on traffic and depending on where you're going, but again affording you those large entertainment venues that we've talked about in other videos, sporting events, things of that nature. So it's a great location here in Bellingham to have access to the majority of the amenities that you need immediately and to sometimes travel for things that you would only get in a big city. As always, I hope this video has been helpful to you. With any questions or concerns that you might have, I encourage you to reach out. Would love to share more about the great things that are going on here in Whatcom County. Once again, encourage you to like and subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so you can keep up on all the content that we're releasing. And one last reminder that contact information is below. Reach out anytime. As always, appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.